The 1917 one-dime coin of the United States of America, struck without a mint mark, belongs to one of the most fascinating and historically significant chapters of U.S. coinage. This coin, valued at 10 cents, was part of the Mercury dime series, which was officially called the Winged Liberty Head Dime. The design first appeared in 1916 and was produced until 1945, making it a true icon of early 20th century American numismatics. When you hold a 1917 dime, you are holding a small but powerful piece of American history from the World War I era. The lack of a mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the main facility of the U.S. Mint at the time. Every detail of this coin tells a story, from its artwork to its composition, and even its condition plays a role in its modern value. The front side of the 1917 dime features a striking portrait of Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap which symbolizes freedom of thought. Though many people have mistaken the portrait for the Roman god Mercury, hence the nickname Mercury dime, the true intention of designer Adolph A. Weinman was to portray Liberty as youthful, strong, and forward-looking. Around the portrait appears the word Liberty, and on the left is the famous motto, "In God We Trust," which you specifically mentioned. The date 1917 sits prominently at the bottom, anchoring the design in its time. Even in fine condition, the central details of the design remain visible, although some softness in Liberty's hair and the wings of the cap may be present. On the reverse, the coin carries an image that is equally symbolic. It depicts a fasces, an ancient Roman bundle of rods tied around an axe, representing unity and authority, with an olive branch wrapped around it, symbolizing peace. This unique combination sends a clear message. The strength of a nation is coupled with a desire for peace. Around the top rim appears the inscription, United States of America, and at the bottom, the denomination 1 dime. Even though the coin is over a century old, the artistry remains impressive and reflects the classical inspiration that dominated U.S. coinage design during the early 1900s. Compositionally, the 1917 dime is made of 90% silver and 10% copper, with a standard weight of 2.5 grams and a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. This silver content means that even worn examples still carry intrinsic bullion value, and collectors always take note of both condition and metal content. In fine condition, the coin has survived more than 100 years of circulation and history, which adds to its collectible appeal. Historically, the year 1917 was a dramatic one for the United States. It marked America's official entry into World War I, and coins from this year circulated during a time of uncertainty, patriotism, and change. Millions of 1917 dimes were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, making them relatively available, but surviving examples in collectible condition are always in demand. Without a mint mark, these coins represent the standard issue, while coins from Denver or San Francisco carried small d or S marks. The Philadelphia issues, like the one we are discussing, are often the first sought by collectors building date and mint mark sets. Now, let's move to the value of a 1917 dime without mint mark in fine condition in today's market. The numismatic value depends on a combination of factors: silver bullion value, historical demand, rarity in higher grades, and collector interest. In fine F12 condition, the details are moderately worn but still clear enough to appreciate the artistry. The silver melt value of the coin is generally around $2 to $3 USD, depending on current silver prices. However, as a collectible, the coin is worth more than just its metal. In the numismatic market of 2025, a 1917 no-mint marked Mercury dime in fine condition typically sells for around $6 to $12 US. Coins in very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated conditions can command significantly higher prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of dollars if they are certified and well preserved. It is also important to note that collectors often look for rare errors or varieties in Mercury dimes. While the 1917 issue is not particularly known for major varieties like double dies, certain die cracks or striking flaws can add to its desirability. Every small difference can enhance the coin's rarity, and error examples can easily sell for much more than standard catalog values. The sentimental and historical value of a 1917 dime is just as powerful as its monetary worth. Imagine that this coin passed to the hands of Americans during the time of President Woodrow Wilson. When the nation was mobilizing for war, women were gaining momentum towards suffrage, and the U.S. economy was transforming into a modern power. Every scratch and mark on a fine gray dime tells a story of commerce, survival, and national history. In conclusion, the 1917 one dime without mint mark, United States of America, bearing the words "In God We Trust," is a remarkable artifact of American history. Struck in fine silver, carrying an elegant classical design, and minted during a pivotal year in world history, it represents both artistic beauty and tangible heritage. In today's collector market, its value in fine condition is generally between $6 and $12, with potential for more if unique qualities are present. It is more than just a 10-cent piece. It is a living memory of a century past, still cherished by numismatists and history enthusiasts worldwide. Next, the 1928 one-dime coin of the United States of America is a piece of true numismatic history, an artifact that carries not only monetary worth but also cultural and historical weight. This dime belongs to the Mercury dime series, which was minted from 1916 until 1945. The coin does not bear the word Mercury officially. In reality, the obverse design represents liberty wearing a winged cap, which symbolizes freedom of thought. However, due to the resemblance to the Roman god Mercury, the coin became popularly known as the Mercury dime. The obverse inscription reads liberty at the top, with the phrase, "I in God we trust," placed at the lower left, and the year of minting, 1928, shown at the bottom. These inscriptions highlight the patriotic and religious spirit of America during the early 20th century, as well as the craftsmanship of its engravers. The reverse of the coin depicts a fasces, a bundle of rods tied together, with an axe emerging at the top, an ancient Roman symbol of unity and strength. Surrounding the fasces is an olive branch, symbolizing peace. The legend United States of America and one dime encircle the reverse, with the traditional motto E Pluribus Unum, inscribed in smaller letters. All these design elements combine to make the 1928 dime a miniature work of art, highly respected in American coinage. The 1928 Mercury dime, without mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time did not place a mint mark on its coins. This makes the Philadelphia issue the most common for the year, though common, in coinage terms, still means collectible today. Over 19 million dimes were minted in Philadelphia in 1928, a figure that helped satisfy the demands of a growing economy during the interwar period. Despite the relatively high mintage, the passage of nearly a century has greatly reduced the number of surviving examples, especially those in better conditions. Many circulated heavily, losing detail in Liberty's cap and the fasces, but even a circulated coin today holds collector interest. The absence of a mint mark on the reverse side, located near the bottom to the left of the fasces, identifies it as a Philadelphia coin, in contrast to D for Denver or S for San Francisco mintings. When we focus on condition, a coin graded as fine, F, indicates that the piece has seen significant circulation, but still retains enough visible detail to be attractive to collectors. In fine condition, the 1928 Mercury dime will typically show wear across Liberty's hair and wing cap, with parts of the design flattened. The reverse will also have noticeable wear, especially on the fasces and the olive branch, but the lettering and the central symbols will remain clear and readable. For collectors, fine condition is considered a mid-level grade, not as valuable as extremely fine or uncirculated examples, but still far more desirable than heavily worn good or about good coins. Such a coin is also more accessible for beginner collectors who want to own a genuine piece of history without paying the high premiums attached to mint state examples. In today's market, the value of a 1928 Mercury dime without mint mark in fine condition is driven by several factors, including its silver content, numismatic demand, and historical appeal. Each Mercury dime contains 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams, which gives an intrinsic melt value based on the current silver price. With silver prices fluctuating around $25 per ounce in 2025, the melt value of a 1928 dime is approximately $1.80 to $2. However, collectors do not simply pay for the silver. They pay for the history, the artistry, and the scarcity of preserved examples. As a result, the numismatic premium lifts the value well above its melt worth. In fine condition, a 1928 Philadelphia Mercury dime usually trades a range of $3 to $5 in today's collector market. Well-struck or problem-free examples can fetch slightly higher amounts, especially when sold to collectors seeking to complete a date-and-mint set of Mercury dimes. Higher grades, like extremely fine or uncirculated coins, can soar into the tens or even hundreds of dollars, depending on luster, strike, and eye appeal. Beyond its financial value, the 1928 Mercury dime represents a connection to the America of the 1920s, a decade marked by roaring prosperity, cultural change, and eventual economic downturn with the onset of the Great Depression. Each surviving dime is a tangible artifact that passed through countless hands, perhaps used by a newspaper, a loaf of bread, or a ride on a streetcar. Owning such a coin today is like holding a small piece of the American story, a reminder of artistry and currency design, and the endurance of objects that outlive their era. For collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, the 1928 Mercury dime, without mint mark in fine condition, is a modestly priced yet historically priceless treasure.